Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat petang diucapkan kepada semua peserta dan para penonton. Bertemu kita kembali pada petang ini untuk kita teruskan lagi perkongsian program pagi hari pertama program MYDIGITALMAKER Virtual Fair at Perak ini. Diharapkan semoga semua peserta sudah pun beristirahat sebentar dan makan tengah hari supaya kita semua lebih bersedia dan bersemangat untuk mengikuti slot seterusnya. Baiklah, sebelum itu saya ingatkan kepada semua peserta di Zoom dan kepada semua yang sedang mengikuti siaran langsung program ini sama ada di Facebook MYDIGITALMAKER ataupun YouTube MJKK Negeri Perak untuk share atau kongsikan siaran ini kepada rakan-rakan yang lain supaya mereka juga tidak ketinggalan untuk mengikuti program bermanfaat dan menarik pada petang ini. Baiklah, sebelum kita mendengar webinar seterusnya, izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri terlebih dahulu. Saya Cikgu Marshidah binti Mat Johor dari Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Terengganu, Perak, Darul Rizwan akan mengemudi program pada petang ini. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, para peserta dan penonton sekalian, slot webinar pertama bagi sesi petang ini bertajuk Tertiary Learning Pathway Opportunity in Games Development and Animation. Untuk itu, dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan TS Dr. Sharon Goh Wewe selaku Senior Lecturer Program Director Bachelor of Information Technology daripada Taylor's University untuk menyampaikan perkongsian. Untuk itu dipersilakan Doktor.
Okay, selamat petang semua murid-murid dan cikgu-cikgu sekalian. Salam sejahtera. A very good afternoon to all teachers and students. My name is Dr. Goh Wei Wei. I'm from Taylor's University. Today, I'm going to share with you the learning pathway opportunity for the Bachelor of Information Technology, specialization in game development and animation. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm the Program Director for the Bachelor of Information Technology from the School of Computer Science and Engineering under the Faculty of Innovation and Technology. So today, we are going to look at what is the game development and animations. So for game development and animation is a course of study that focuses on the process of creating motion and shape change illusion, as well as the art of applying design and aesthetics for animation and game development. For the game development process, it can be divided into 3 stages. The first stage is the pre-production stage. The second stage is the production stage, and the third stage is the post-production stage. For the first stage, pre-production stage, the subject matter expert and the game procedurer, they will collect all the game idea. They will come up with their game idea and then refine the game idea. Then it will be moved to the second stage, which is under the production stage, where the game will be designed. All the game will be designed by the artists, programmers, and the technical directors. For the process of production, the game will be designed and then will be developed into apps or the web, and then it will be go through the testing process. Under the testing process, we will go to the third stage, which is the post-production. The tester, beta tester, will do the testing before they deploy the apps, which means they will, once the app is ready, they will deploy it, they will upload it to the cloud server for the user to use. Then the sales marketing team will try to promote the apps which is developed. So basically, this is the game development process. What are the skills needed for game development? First of all, the student need to have the creativity, and of course, the student must have the passion in the game, in the video games. Then they will need to have the wide range of knowledge in the gaming trends, and then have the strong analytical frame of mind when they develop the games and design the games. Of course, the ability to work in a team is very important in the students. Furthermore, students need to have the proficiency in programming languages such as C# and C++. Okay, so you may ask, is the game development career in demand in the coming 5 to 10 years? For the entertainment software, it is one of the fastest growing industry in the world economy. In fact, digital games have become the mainstream media, and with net earnings even surpassing that of the film industry. The increased demand of games is good news for students who are interested in game design as a career in Malaysia. Job opportunities have increased for well-trained game developers from top private universities in Malaysia. For example, the overall job outlook for the video game designer careers have been positive since 2019. Vacancy for this career has been increased by 5.31% nationwide in that time, with the average growth of 5.31% every year. Demand for video game designers is expected to grow up, with an expected 32,000 new jobs will be filled by 2029. Demands for the augmented reality and virtual reality jobs skyrocket in game industry in Malaysia in the past 5 years. MDEC Digital Content Fund also known as the MAC3 Fund, is a government fund designed and created to support local creative content production companies in developing, producing, co-producing the digital content. Okay, so game developers are responsible for designing, programming, and testing games. Their work involves creating the visual content of a game, as well as writing the code necessary for the implement its features. Game developers create specifications for a game and use those specifications to inform the plan. They create the storyline, characters, activities, scoring system, environment of a game, breaking each component into smaller parts assigned to different team members. Those professionals use programming languages to write the code that supplies the logic and allows players to interact with the game. But the work of the game developer does not stop there. Throughout the development process, they must also test the game and debug the code to ensure that the user have seamless experience. So how can you become a developer? Several paths can lead you to your dream job, becoming a game developer. There are some of the most common ways to kickstart as a career in game development. First of all is earning a university or college degree in computer science, animation, and game development degree. Attend a coding bootcamp specializing in the game development, and also self-learning using many resources which can feel freely available in the internet. So how much does a game developer can earn in Malaysia? According to the statistic by the Salary Explorer, you can see that as a fresh grad for a game developer, their starting salary is 3,460 ringgit Malaysia. And then after 2 to 3 years, then the salary will increase for another 34%. And then after 5 to 10 years, the salary will increase for another 30%. And after 20 years of working as a game developer, the game developer will earn about around 8,000 ringgit Malaysia per month. Okay, let us move to animation. What is animation? I'm sure that all of you know what is animation or have watched the cartoons similar to this, like for example, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or Pinocchio's, or even Zootopia. So what is animation? Animation is the process of taking a static object, an idea of how it should move, and applying techniques to make it move in a desired way. So I'm sure you know or you have heard of what is Walt Disney. Walt Disney is the king of the 20th century animation. It is no doubt the best known animator worldwide. So you can see that there are many best animated movies all the time. For example, like the Inside Out, Zootopia, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, Finding Nemo's, all are the example of animations. Pinocchio is a 1940 American animated film produced by Walt Disney and based on the story of the adventures of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. It is the second film in the Walt Disney animated classics and was made after the success of the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. It was released to the theaters on the 1940s. So game animation and feature animations is very popular nowadays. Many animations are short and are combined to each other to make the character move with attitude and conviction. In brief, the animation created help to translate what the player would like to do in the world as well as to help to support the story. So now let us move on to the 5 pioneers in the early animation. You can see here that the Emily Cole is the French cartoonist and animator. He is also known as the father of the animated cartoon in 1907. George Billy is the second popular animator. He is the French filmmaker, and he is considered as the first cinemagician in the 1990s. Winston McKay is the true animator, also known as the cartoonist and artist. He is very popular in the 1911. J. Stuart Blackton uses stop motion as the storytelling technique in the 1990s. He is the famous British filmmaker. Then we have the photographer Edward McBride used the pinakitoscope to create illusion for the motions, and he is very popular as the English photographer in the 1893. So these are the 5 pioneers of the early animations. Okay, let us look at the different type of animations. There are various types of animations. For example, the first one is called the traditional animated movies. I'm sure all of you have watched this kind of the traditional animated movies before. Animators used to draw by hands for each and every frame. It is creating the drawing one by one on the film. Second type of the animation is the digital 2D animations. For this digital 2D animation, it is using the Adobe Flash. Animators can create the digital 2D animations. Small variation like changing the color or frame rate can be changed almost instantly. The third type of animation is the digital 3D animations, making unreal characters into realistic one. This is more popular in the movie making industry. The fourth type of the animation is the puppetry animations. It is created using the real life puppets instead of objects. It is most commonly used in the children cartoons and films. Okay, now let us look at the difference for the animations for games and the animation for movies. There are differences between the animation for games and animations for movies. As we know that games are meant to be interactive, animation for games need to look good from every possible angle. The user will have complete control of the character and the camera. For the animation for movies, the animator is only responsible for animating whatever in the view of the shot of the camera. The animator just to worry of the one camera angle at a time. So that is the difference between the animation for games and animations for movies. So as a student, you might ask, what is the future career pathway for game development and animation? After I completed my degree, what can I be? So after you complete the degree in the game development or game design, the graduate can become the game art designer, front-end UI, UX designer, game designer, Unity 3D designer, game graphic designer, graphic multimedia designer, game producer, game artist, or the game animator. Okay, let me share with you what is the courses that we are offering in Taylor's University School of Computer Science and Engineering. One of the programs that we offer is the Bachelor of Information Technology. This program teaches students to use the internet technologies and applications to solve the real-world problems. Graduates will be able to integrate the business processes requirement with information technology to improve and transform the business processes within an organization. So for the career opportunity for each specialization in School of Computer Science and Engineering, we offer 3 different programs. with various specializations that can cater different needs and interests of the students. I'm sure you are in dilemma in asking, which program should I choose? Should I choose Bachelor of Computer Science, Bachelor of Information Technology, or Bachelor of Software Engineering? So you will have to do the program for 3 years, and it will be the entire life decision, as it will be determine the career pathway of your future too. Hence, if you are doing something that you do not like, if you do not have the passion or interest in the program that you have chosen, then it can be like a torturing of yourself to do something that you do not like. So after this talk, ask yourself, what is your interest? What is your passion? I know that it is computing. I know it is in the game design or in the animation, but computing is so wide. Which area of computing in specific that you like most? You have to ask yourself and to be clear, what is the interest of yourself? Some students would like to do something related to business and in future and using the computing knowledge that they have. They would like to become entrepreneur and to start their new ideas, their new venture. Some students would say, I like to play game. Is there anything I can do with computing and the games? Some students would say, oh, I want to start to expand my family business. How can I utilize my computer skills to expand my family business? So don't worry. In the School of Computer Science and Engineering, we offer various programs in various specializations to help you to make the best decision of your life. For example, we offer the 3 specializations here. One is the specialization in the Internet Technologies, specialization in the Business Intelligence and Analytics, and the specialization in the Game Design. So once you have completed the Bachelor of Information Technology specialized in Internet Technologies, you can become Internet Technology Specialist, Internet Technology Support Analyst, Internet Technologies Support Analyst, or the Internet Technology Infrastructure Support. If you choose the specialization in the Business Intelligence and Analytics, well, once you graduate, you can become Business Intelligence Business Analyst, IT Business Analyst, Data Architect, Data Analyst, Financial Analyst, or the Operation Research Analyst. If you choose the specialization in Game Design, then once you graduate, you can become the Graphic Multimedia Designer, Game Producer, Game Designer, Game Artist, or the Game Animator. So, as I mentioned just now, there is the specialization in Internet Technologies, and then the specialization in the Business Intelligence and Analytics. You may ask, what is the difference between the Data Science specialization and Business Intelligence Analytics? For Business Intelligence Analytics, students use the tools as black box, input the data, get the result, and interpret the results. Explore and apply the different tools, and students have knowledge in business process and marketing concept. However, for the data science, students understand the algorithm of the analytics tools. Students are able to review and customize algorithm according to the business needs. And then students have the knowledge in the programming, database, object-oriented design, and also the web development concept. So this is what the student will learn if they specialize in the Business Intelligence and Analytics. As for the specialization in Game Design, which is our main topic here today, for the student who specialize in the game design, students will have the opportunity to explore in the virtual interactive games, manual games, and the digital games. Students will learn the immersive design using the virtual simulation gaming. This is interesting for experiential learners. Students taking this specialization also will have the chance to involve in the virtual interactivity with augmented reality simulations. Interesting, isn't it? Now let us look at the game design. So for the game design, draws the field of the computer science and programming, creative writing, psychology, and the graphic design. Game designs are responsible for designing characters, game rules, game environments, puzzle, art, and animation. Upon completion of this specialization, students should be able to create and design, produce the new game or prototype. Students will be able to obtain in-depth knowledge of industry practice 3D tools, experiential design, various gameplay elements, and the game development concept. So let us look at this education pathway for BIT. So for students who have completed the SPM, O-level or equivalent, they can choose to study the foundation in computing in Taylor's College for 1 year and then proceed to degree, or they can choose to do the diploma in information technology for 2 years with the internship and then proceed to degree, or they can choose to do the STPM or A-levels for 1 year or 2 years and then proceed to degree under the Bachelor of Information Technology. And just now I have explained that there is 3 specializations that the student can choose in the Bachelor of Information Technologies. After completed the 2 years of the degree, the student will have to do the internship in their year 3. For this program, it is awarded by Taylor's University and University of West England because this program is dual award. So at the end of completion, students will receive 2 scrolls, one from Taylor's University and the other one from the University of West England. So this is the education pathway for BIT. So I'm sure you will be asking, what will you be learning if you specialize in game design in Taylor's University? For the game design module in Taylor's University, first of all, students will be doing these 4 main modules. One is the game development, game study, sonic games, sonic design, and the experiential design. So in the game development, students will have the understanding on the game-specific design issues and enhance their understanding of basic game concept. Students will learn how to critically analyze user needs and define user experience through systematic research principle and how to use industry standard authoring software such as the Unity development engine to an intermediate level. In the game study, students analyze the common gameplay elements in various games, including both analog and digitals. This specialization also study on the playable features and what makes a particular game interesting to play regardless of their medium. So this is what the student will be learning. So for the game development, in this course, students will go through the game development pipeline, which include the game design, art asset design, game prototyping, and finally integrating the art into making a playable game. This course will match the student specialization. Therefore, game design specialization student will have the flexibility in selecting and downloading art asset from the royalty-free asset library. However, they need to design their own screen interface. They also need to design the main character, enemies, and boss. All of these will be guided by the instructor, and there are techniques to do it without any prior design skill. So now let us look at the example of the game design. So for example, this is the game developed by our students called the Raven game. if you take this game design module, the student will be learning and then develop their own games. So these are some of the example of the game that has been developed by our students. So these are some of the example of the game that has been developed by our student, and it is very interesting. And then there is some of the example of the playable games that has been shared by our student as well, that you can go to the design school, taylors.edu.my under the game zone. And there are various types of the final year project created by our students. And then you can play over there. So these are some of the example when the student take up this program under the game design. Okay, then the student also will have to come up with their example of the portfolio. Like for example, this one is the portfolio created by one of our students who is taking this game development modules, where they will explain what they will be learning. They will do their reflective diary, and then they will explain or write it there, what is their experience, what did they do, and then what is their first Unity physics experience. So these are the example. So for example, they created the first Unity games, something like this. So this is quite interesting for the students. And then they have some other tutorials. And this is like the game development using the Unity 2D platform. So this one, the student developed the game using the Unity 2D platform. So if you are taking this module, it will be very interesting that you will be learning all these techniques and tools. And at the end, you will have to create a project of a game by yourself. So this is the example that the student will be learning for the game development module. As for the experiential design modules, what will the student be learning? So in this course, the main focus is to design the experience. Students will go through the process of analyzing and planning new experiences, incorporating the trending technologies today, which is the augmented reality and also the virtual reality. For example, let's say we take a shopping experience in Uniqlo as a case study. Students will then look at how the experience is currently and identify what can be further improved and enhanced using the augmented reality. Then after the consultation with the lecturer, they will proceed to build a prototype to verify their MPV and finally work towards a working mobile apps. The course is focused more on explorations and problem solving, and therefore the final mobile app is expected to have some errors and bugs. So this is what the student will be learning in their experiential learning. So let me share with you some example for the experiential learning. So this is the museum demo.
Hello, my name is Safwan Aziz, and this is my augmented reality app for experiential design module. My idea for the app is to improve visitors' experience in museums such as the Islamic Arts of Malaysia Museum. One part to improve is each visitor is given a pamphlet when they enter. Based on my observation, these are wasteful as they are rarely being used because most people focus looking at exhibitions and taking pictures instead. But the pamphlet is also important as it has map and details of exhibition. So with this app, the visitor can see the map, details of model or painting, and even listen to an audio tour guide while also enjoying interacting through AR. So here, when a visitor scans a painting, painting character greets and tells the audience to ask a question.
Whoa, hello there. My name is General Kenobi. You can ask me anything you want. I was famous for a lot of things, but mostly for leading a ship of crew called the Terror. Well, I was born in 1809 in England, New York, just during the Industrial Revolution. I wasn't very rich, but boy, I had a good family.
Audience can also listen to audio tour guide if they only want to listen about the painting.
Napoleon once said, "The word impossible is not in my dictionary." This bold statement.
After you scan, you can find out where you are and the details of the floor. Other than a painting, you can also scan a 3D nature building. Once you scan, you can see and interact with the virtual environment around the 3D model. You can also interact with the interior and show more information on things that you can't see from outside of the real life model. Information such as the fountain, and the wall. And of course, you also have the option to listen to the audio tour guide about the miniature building.
Architecture gallery.
Okay, so this is the example of the student that they have taken the experiential learning module, and then they come out with this kind of assignments. And there are some other illustration that we can see later. So this is another one is the video 5 on the tailor's guide. For example, over here, this one is for the biology lesson.
So I will be talking about my app today, which is called Study Monkey, which is an interactive AR learning experience for the students, and I'm targeting primary students. So I'm just going to show you how this app works. So if we press start, it will guide you to like the instructions on what to do. Scan the image, interact with the objects, and complete the mini quiz. That's all. So let's press start.
Yeah, so this is all that I would like to share with you on the experiential design module that the student will be learning. Next, we will proceed to the sonic design. So what will the student be learning in the sonic design? In sonic design, students will essentially learn how to create their own sound effects and apply them to various productions. Ultimately, it's about making the project comes alive with good original sound effects. They will be guided by step and build their skill progressively towards the final project. For this semester onwards, the student will be given 2 choices for their final project. First is the film audios, where it will be given an old classic silent movie and they will have to bring it to life with sound. And another one is the game audio, where they will be given a gameplay video capture without any sound. Then they will have to build their own. So let us look at some example of the sonic design that has been created by our students. So for example, this one is the sonic design example, the silent movie audio.
Thank you, sir.
So this is what the student will be learning in the sonic design. They will come out with the different type of sound effect.
Oh, but that's extraordinary. Oh, I call it an that's great. Here's another favorite of mine. Oh, how did you do that? Easy, it's just doing amazing. Thank you. I'll show you. Here, I'll show you another. This I showed the lady earlier. You try.
Right. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So this is the example of the silent movie audio. Even though there isn't anybody talking, but when you watch the movie, you will be able to see what is happening. Okay, next. This one is another example with the sonic design for the game. So this is another example. So for students who are taking the sonic design, they will be learning to create different type of sound for games and also for movies. So it is very interesting, isn't it? So these are some of the examples that I would like to share with you now. Okay, let us move on to the next one. For the game study. Okay, so what will be the student learning in the game studies? This module analyzes the common gameplay elements in various games, including both analog and digital games. The module study what makes a particular game interesting to play regardless of their medium. Students will apply basic investigative and research skills to analyze concepts and identify common patterns in gameplay design, which will lead to the innovative game design prototypes. So for the game design and game study, so these are the examples that you can see. Okay, so this is the sonic design portfolio that has been created by the student. And this is the Joe design block that they created the portfolio for their game design and the game development for each week in the semester. So this is the student will have to do what is the game test and then come up with the game rules, what is the game map, the game update. So these are what the student will be doing for their game study project. So these are all the examples for the game study project for the students. So students will have to create the games and then design the games and then come up with their game idea proposal. So for example, like this one, this is the game proposal that has been created by the students. Okay, so now let us move on to the next slide. So you might be asking, why should I choose Taylor's University? Where is Taylor's University? Taylor's University is a private university in Subang Jaya, Selangor. It is regarded as the Malaysia top private university in Malaysia, based on the QS World University Ranking. It was founded in 1969 as a college and was awarded the University College status in 2006 and University status in 2010. So let me share with you the video of Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's. Welcome to Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's University.
Welcome to Taylor's University. Today, we're going to get hands-on with these racing cars. Today, we're live streaming with a chef from France. Today, you'll judge what happens next. Today's about collaborative brainstorming. Today, we take on research that changes lives. Today was a success.
At Taylor's, we strive to provide more than just an education. We equip our students with the skills and attitudes to become successful entrepreneurs and leaders. The value of our degrees is also enhanced by our high-impact, internationally recognised research. Our growing reputation for both teaching and research is placing Taylor's on course to become one of Asia's elite universities.
Okay, so let me share with you for Taylor's University. Taylor's University QS Asia ranking milestone, as you can see that in 2015-2017, Taylor University ranked 201 to 250 in Asia. However, in the year 2019-2022, Taylor's University ranked 109 in Asia. In the year 2020 to 2021, Taylor's University ranked 89. Taylor's has moved 20 places up with 18% improvement, and now we are the top 100 university in Asia. So besides that, Taylor University also is in the rank of 379 in the world rank. So Taylor's University has received various types of awards and recognition internationally. For example, Taylor's University currently ranked at 332 in 2020 QS World University Ranking. And this also places us as the #1 private university in the Southeast Asia. Taylor's University is ranked number 89 in the 2021 QS Asia University Ranking. Taylor's is also listed as the top 1% of the university in Asia by QS. So Taylor's has also received various types of awards and recognitions by subjects. So as you can see that QS World Ranking by subject in 2020, Taylor's University is ranked number 17 in the Hospitality and Leisure Management, #1 university in the Southeast Asia, number 147 in the Business and Management Study, #1 in the Private University in Southeast Asia, and then it is ranked number 601 to 650 in the Computer Science and Information System. So this is the QS ranking of Taylor's University. And then in Taylor's University, also, we believe in the Taylor's graduate capabilities. In the highly competitive and challenging 21st century workplace, graduates who are skilled will be relevant, responsive, work ready to start ahead and stay ahead in the global marketplace. The teaching and learning approach at Taylor's University is focused on ensuring that each student is able to acquire and demonstrate discipline-specific knowledge, cognitive capabilities, and soft skills. So academics in each school are responsible to embed the Taylor's graduate capabilities in their teaching and learning activities. This is implemented at the module and program level through curriculum design and involved in the mapping learning outcomes in relation to the TGC, the Taylor's graduate capabilities, assessing the Taylor's graduate achievement and tracking student development. Evaluation and review mechanism will be enhanced through the regular audits and curriculum review processes. So that is the reason why that you should consider to choose Taylor's University as your destination for your undergraduate study. So let me introduce to you the Faculty of Innovation and Technology. In the Faculty of Innovation and Technology, we are under the School of Computer Science and Engineering, where we offer 3 undergraduate programs, which is the Bachelor of Software Engineering, Bachelor of Computer Science, and Bachelor of Information Technology. So this is what I'm explaining today. Under the Bachelor of Information Technology, specialization in the game design. Okay. So as I have mentioned just now, for the Bachelor of Information Technology, it is the dual award partnership with the University of West England. So which means that at the end of the completion of the program, students will be awarded 2 scrolls. One is from Taylor's University and the other one is from the University of West England. So for the opportunities in taking the program in the School of Computer Science and Engineering, we are going to launch the work-based learning in March 2020, where the student can choose either to take the conventional modes, which is they will be doing their program, the degree program, 3 years in campus, or if they want to choose the work-based learning, the student can choose to do 2 years in campus and 1 year in the industry. And then another option is the student can choose the work-based learning with the technopreneurship modes. For this, students will become the entrepreneurs, where they will be doing their final year in the incubator in Taylor's University. We call it BizPort. Okay, so we help students to start their own companies. The services provided by the Taylor's BizPort is to train the student in the area of technopreneurship, provide necessary support, help to find funding, and nurture their business. So this is one of the student learning experience by our Bachelor of Information Technology students. Okay, so they are saying that I'm impressed with the e-learning efforts organized and arranged and provided by the university. We are also having the partnership with various organizations such as MDEC, Western Digital, Microsoft, Mimos, Huawei, Basis Pay, IBM, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, etc. So this is the articulation program that we offer to the students. For this articulation program, students can choose to do 1 year in Taylor's and then 2 years in the Articulate University, or they can choose to do 2 years in Taylor's University and 1 year in the Articulated University. So in Taylor's, we also have this called the Makerspace. A makerspace is the collaborative workspace. It supports learning, exploring, and sharing technology and help students to develop their innovative and creative mindset. So other than that, Taylor's competitive advantage is that we have the highest recognition from the industry, and then we also receive the highest employment rate, 100% for the past 3 years for the computing degree. And we also receive the highest salary for fresh graduates. So for when students graduate, their starting salary is 3,500 per month. So this is the future IT and computer careers that we offer. Okay, so as you know that drones and also all these AI driverless vehicles are quite popular nowadays. So these are the trend in future that you will be learning all this in this program, and also the Industrial 4.0. So for our journey, if you choose to study in Taylor's University, this is some of the university student life that they are encouraged to participate in the competitions. And then this is the lecture theaters that we have in the university. So this is some of the university life that I would like to share with the students, that you will have this kind of experience. And then some of the student achievement that we have with our student, we encourage students to participate in the competitions. So these are some of the competition that has been won by our students. Like for example, they participated in the campaign in the Code for Life Inter-University IT Virtual Hackathon by Roche, or they also won the top 5 Alibaba Global Challenge 2020 Huawei IT competition and also the NASA Space Apps Challenge competitions. And some of the students also won the Hilti IT competitions, some hackathons. So we encourage students to participate in the competition so that they can have some real life experience, and then they are working like as if they are working with the industry, and then they are growing and they know what is happening in the industry to prepare themselves when they go out to work. So these are some of the examples of the competition that has been won or participated by our students. So this is some of the student achievement for this year, where the student won the Hilti Global IT Competition 2020. And this is the recent one. Our student won the Big I competitions. So furthermore, we also embed the certifications in our curriculum so that the student can earn some certifications upon graduation. Thank you very much for listening. Terima kasih. So for further inquiries, you may email me weiwei.go@taylors.edu.my. Over to you, Mashida.
Okey, terima kasih diucapkan kepada TS Dr. Sharon Goh Wewe selaku Senior Lecturer, Program Director, Bachelor of Information Technology dari Taylor's University atas perkongsian berkenaan dengan Tertiary Learning Pathway Opportunity in Game Development and Animation. So, kepada murid-murid dan juga peserta melalui perkongsian doktor tadi, bolehlah kepada murid-murid, pelajar-pelajar yang memang minat dalam bidang game dan juga animasi ini, bolehlah mula merancang hala tuju kerjaya masing-masing agar impian anda semua dapat direalisasikan. Terima kasih sekali lagi doktor atas perkongsian menarik sebentar tadi. Assalamualaikum, jumpa lagi. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, para peserta dan penonton sekalian, jika tadi kita telah pun pergi ke Taylor's University, sekarang kita teruskan lagi slot webinar pada petang ini dengan slot seterusnya yang bertajuk Sembang Teh Tarik, Perkongsian Kerjaya Teknologi Digital Career Guide for the Game Industry. Jadi, tanpa melengahkan masa, dipersilakan Encik Bazil Akmal Bidin selaku Outreach and Training Manager of PlayStation Studios Malaysia untuk menyampaikan perkongsian. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan Encik Bazil.
Terima kasih kepada MC. Thank you all for coming today. My name is Buzz, B-double-Z. Before we start, today's topic is going to be about career guide for the game industry, where I'll be sharing about some information about career opportunities and the kind of roles that we have in the game industry, and specifically from the perspective of PlayStation Studios Malaysia. So we'll move to the next slide. A bit of quick background. My name, I'm Buzz, a game programmer by training, a game developer by heart, and a talent and community and ecosystem builder by profession. My ikigai is continuous learning, and my vocation is actually to grow the local game industry through working with various game companies, education institutions, government agencies, and other stakeholders of the regional game industry. I'm currently the outreach and training manager for PlayStation Studios Malaysia. Let's take a look at what PlayStation does. Okay. So let's talk about the creative industry itself. So it's a huge industry. It covers all kind of creative work such as music, novel, writing, games, animation, film, publishing, and a lot of different kind of creative endeavors. So, but today specifically, I'm going to dive in deep into the game industry, relevant to in Malaysia and globally is about. Let's take a look at what the world has to offer. There's a few videos that I have. As you can see, there are various kind of work that's specifically from the Unity technology, one of the popular game engines globally. And you can see different kind of work, VR, and there's even a project with NASA. So games encompasses entertainment and non-entertainment field. And I'll share more through Unreal Engine as well, another engine that's really popular globally. And that's from Unreal Engine, another popular game engine, as I said earlier. As you can see, there's a lot of different kind of products, whether it's cartoony, whether it's realistic, whether it's different art style, and even platform as well, with the mobile, consoles, and PC. So that's how wide and broad the game industry is in general. So there is a question that people ask me, is that there is a career in the game industry. That's a common question that I get. And the question is that that usually we have in discussion with a lot of young talents, especially on the left side. If you're not familiar, there's a screenshot of a game called Overwatch, and on the right there's a screenshot of character classes for a game called Ragnarok, which is typically a bit older that you might not have heard of. And a lot of times that when people talk about career in the game industry, they thought that it works similarly to how character classes, like in Overwatch, where you can become Mei, you can become Tracer, or you can become Winston, and all this kind of Hanzo, all this specialized unique character. And that's not necessarily true, because in the game industry, typically it's more relevant to what Ragnarok have, where everybody start as a novice character, and you start and you level up and you get like 10 levels, and you can pick one of the branches with these swordsman's, magician, archer, and all that. And as you keep improving yourself and you grow and you become better at what you do, you can specialize into specific subclasses that might be more pertinent to your skill set. And such as you can become a high wizard, or you can become assassin cross, and all that kind of like special only comes with the experience. And then this is something that you get from being growing in the game industry. Moving forward, I'll just like to share the sort of the broad categories of the career in the game industry. The first one is going to be game art. So this game art is something that I think when you think of anything that you see on the screen is the work of the game art, and it covers a lot of different things within environment, character, UI. Every single thing that you see visually tends to be created through the game art sort of field. Let's take a look of what environmental art, which is a subset of game art, entails at Naughty Dog. Let's take a look.
My name is Brian Rechtenwald. I am an environment artist.
My name is Adam Littledale. I'm an environment artist here.
What environment artist is? It's basically a world builder. So we play with little kits of rocks and trees and
create the environment that the player walks through and explores.
It's pretty much whatever the player sees in the environment. So I'm responsible for like the visuals, but also the collision and like what they experience from a just walking in the world standpoint.
The art director usually has like a direction of where things are going. And the first thing I'd do is usually go find photo reference and inspirational like images that spark ideas.
A good personality fit, in my opinion, is someone who's really open to iteration and not settling on their ways, not being too stubborn, because you have to be really adaptive.
Someone who's like passionate about what they do and always wants to push themselves to, do the best they can.
Every discipline talks to each other. Every discipline is really passionate, and feedback coming from everywhere, but it's most of the time amazingly focused and relevant. So I think it's just the amount of the quality of people we have here is just that's where it comes from.
It's very much a collaboration. It's a large team of artists, so there's a lot of opinions and people help each other try to come up with the best solutions.
Other studios I've worked at are more production-based. Here, you're gonna be polishing something so amazing, and it's worth it for me. The output that we do, that's what attracts me. And the people here is like I learn so much every day from random disciplines. And then the cool part is we're so open that everyone just kind of bumps into each other, and ideas spread that way, feedback spreads. It's this really organic process.
It's amazing to like have your art seen by so many people, and I think that's the most rewarding part of it all.
PlayStation.
So that's game art, which is one of the fields that we will talk about a bit more in detail. Then this is the overview of sort of game design, which is sort of a unique field. Like game art kind of related to fine art and also creative multimedia. But game design is sort of a unique field where it covers a lot of psychology, understanding of history, user experience, and all this element that makes what makes games fun. And that's itself a challenging field to specialize on. Let's take a look.
My name's Anthony Newman, and I'm a lead game designer at Naughty Dog.
I'm a game designer.
I am a co-lead game designer here at Naughty Dog.
Here, game designer do a bit of everything, a bit of art, a bit of animation, and we need to know what it takes.
And Naughty Dog designers are sort of almost kind of like an assistant directorial position of like, I'm in charge of this level, and I need to be in contact with all the different departments and make sure that no one has anything that's holding them up.
It's one of the things I love about Naughty Dog. You're not just assigned in your bubble, feeling like restricted to just do what you're supposed to do. Here, everybody's encouraging you to just go.
We definitely encourage anyone from any department to comment on anything, from how the game looks to how it plays to a story idea.
You own everything. You can say anything about anything. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this area and just give ideas for this, and it's very empowering.
When someone applies to be a designer at Naughty Dog, we're looking for people with experience doing layout for character action games, particularly shooters.
They need to have a sense of space, a sense of composition.
Really strong literacy in sightlines, landmarks, pacing, integrating story with gameplay.
Somebody who can explain the choices and also think, what if?
What would you do if we didn't like this or we don't like this? Let's talk about how can we make this better.
Can you think about how would you improve this on the spot? You have to be ready to just change it, because that's how game design is. They give you an assignment and you have on the spot to build something.
And then on the scripting side, we're looking for really strong technical backgrounds, so preferably a computer science degree, some really strong experience with hopefully a variety of different programming languages.
We also want to see like a back and forth of idea, because that's how we work.
We want to feel like we can talk to them and have a conversation going and feel confident that we can cooperate with the person in order to make a level together.
We don't have producers, we don't have a lot of process, and so we really kind of rely on a lot of trust and a lot of personal relationships.
I talk to programmers how to make the thing more fun, or like with the environment guys, they give me ideas on how to make it prettier or even like better for gameplay.
You're never gonna hear, we can't do that. You might hear, we've only got a week left, we can't do that now, you know, but there's never a lack of desire or anything hampering your vision coming to life other than, you know, time and space.
It's magic. It's the Naughty Dog magic. All of a sudden, everything comes together. I still don't know why, but everybody's so passionate. Everybody thinks, oh, wouldn't it be better to do this and this or this, until the very end.
There's been a really strong commitment to the people who work here for a really long time. The amount that you're able to do, the things that you're able to put in the game as easily as you are, it's kind of unparalleled, you know what I mean? And so there's this pipeline that's been refined and refined and refined, and all these super smart people have worked on it for so long, so that there's this real culture of excellence that's incredible to be a part of.
I didn't feel before at other spheres that I had as much trust. Everyone is here because we felt they were talented. None of us can really make these type of games that we make on our own.
All of the teams, animation, programming, all of the teams come together to create a product of passion from everyone.
When you work with many other people that are very talented, you learn from them every day. I still learn. I can't tell you how much I've improved as a designer here.
I came here to make these games, and then I fell in love with the culture. It's much more open. Then I fell in love with the people, and it's just a whole package. It's pretty amazing.
And that's game design. Basically, people who actually create and figure out what's the fun in the game. And moving forward, we're talking about the technical aspect, which is the game programming. And this is very similar to computer science, except that it focuses on making games rather than software. And let's take a look at what they have to say.
My name is Christian Yearling. I am a lead programmer. I'm one of the lead programmers.
I'm a graphics programmer.
My job is pretty much to...
I think
that's a surprisingly difficult question to answer.
It's kind of tricky to describe because the role is so different.
I make all of the stuff that allows the artists to do their jobs.
You get a machine that runs on zeros and ones to make pretty pictures. I think that's a pretty good explanation of my job.
I think Naughty Dog is unique among game development companies in that we don't tend to pay a lot of attention to your credentials or your background.
We don't look for someone that needs to have 10 years of experience and have been doing console development all their life.
They didn't care about the fact that I hadn't worked in the games industry before. They didn't care about my degree or that kind of stuff.
Foremost, it's passion.
What have you done in your free time to learn about the current techniques that are being used?
Personal projects, you need to be playing games.
Have you written a ray tracer, like a renderer, a rasterizer? Have you played around with DirectX 11? Have you played around with OpenGL?
Something that shows that you love making games, being surrounded by games, because that's what we do. For programmers, we have a three-step interview process.
So it starts out with a phone interview, and if that goes well, then you have another phone interview that's more in-depth, that involves more math, more technical questions, and lasts a little bit longer.
A lot of programmers, when they first come here, when they're interviewed, might be a little surprised that we're so focused on math. I think math is a super important aspect of all game development.
Being able to methodically and logically solve problems, that's what makes a good programmer. That's what makes the core of our team here.
New people that join us, we take them, we throw them at the deep end of the pool, say, here's the task, go with it.
I think people who need more guidance or look to a manager or a producer, those people struggle here because there's not a lot of that, but it's also what makes it fantastic to work here.
You know, it's a sort of a core skill to be able to focus on what you need to do, but also be willing to be available to help others. Everyone finds a way to strike the right balance.
You really feel like it's up to you, and it is up to you. Because the team is so small, it is up to each person. Like, one person can make a difference here.
Everyone can walk up to anyone and say, this sucks. This is not fun. Let's iterate. Let's figure out a way how we can make this fun. And for me personally, it was like getting a cold shower when I first got here.
You're surrounded by people who know more than you do, and you're just always constantly learning from them.
A lot of companies like to say that, oh yeah, we hire the best in the industry, but in here it's like we actually, like, people here are the best in the industry.
When I first was considering coming to Naughty Dog, I talked to a colleague of mine, and he said something that I'll always remember. He said, you should really just go to the University of Naughty Dog, right? Go there to learn, to master your skills, to hone your abilities. It's just such fun to be shoulder to shoulder with giants in the industry, people who really know what they're doing. And I've been here for 8 years and I'm still learning.
I've always known that I've always wanted to work at Naughty Dog, but I've never thought I was sort of like quote unquote ready. It's just a friend of mine mentioned that Naughty Dog always has an opening and I should try applying, and I'll be like, they won't accept me, why should I bother? And then I just did, and I got the interview, and I passed the first interview, I passed the second interview, I passed the in-person interview, and I was like, holy crap, I have a job at Naughty Dog, so just go for it, just apply, you never know.
And that's basically the three main roles in the game industry. So when I look at here, this is some of the jobs that I've listed here. There's on the left is actually game art, and on the middle is actually game design, and on the right is actually game technology or the game programming. So essentially you have these kind of three major fields that makes up the game development field. Of course, there's a lot of other roles that I'll share a bit later. But generally in the game art, you're talking about 3D artists where you can do environment or character. You can do vehicles. They also have roles such as 2D artists, who 2D animators and 3D animators. You have concept artists or illustrator. You have lead artists, which is more of a management role. And you have technical artists or UX designer generally. And of course, you also tend to have the art director, kind of like the management level for the studio. And we have in game design, there are different roles such as game designer, which is sort of a generic catch-all phrase to all kind of game design, but there are also specific kind of game design such as level design. People actually figure out where to put the placement in the game, and there's a QA and game tester as part of the game design team where you have to play test and make sure the games are as bug-free as possible. And there's also content designer, people who actually write and probably decide how the content is going to scale. For example, Imagine in a game you have more than 100 weapons, such as swords and all that. Someone have to sit down and give names and provide statistic, provide like a description and data, like stats, balance, and all that. So also you have systems and technical designer. People actually work on various systems such as and do scripting on the game design side. And on top of that, we also have game writer and narrative designer. People actually work and narrate stories for the games that they're working on. And the more sort of like modern world also have monetization specialists. And this role is actually to figure out how to monetize. And this is typically more common on free-to-play games where they need this kind of job roles to kind of like help them to figure out how they can monetize the game. On top of that, we have game producer and project manager, which is typically kind of like the one that manage the production and the project. And on top of that, we have the creative or the game director, typically the one that has the vision to kind of like set up for the game itself. And for the game technology, commonly a lot of people start with the game or gameplay programmer. And on top of that, you can actually branch into different fields such as web or server programmer or tools programmer. You can work on the engine itself, or even a subset of engines such as AI, UI, network, graphics, physics, audio. And you can also work as technology evangelist, software architect or analyst. And of course, you have the chief technology officer, sort of like the management level for the game technology field. Okay, this is the more common one, and I'll move to the next part of the slide, which is this is the not so common, but it's up and rising. It's becoming more common now. And these are the sort of the roles adjacent to the three that I've shared earlier. You have things like audio designer, who typically design the audio for the games. You have the community managers, YouTuber. You can become a YouTuber. You can become a game journalist. You can become a mocap actor. You can be part of business development. You can work in the gamification industry, esports, work with the game publisher and all that. And of course, if you have all the money that you need, you can probably be the CEO of your own company, right? And that's definitely a career option as well. Okay, moving forward, what kind of workplace culture that we have in the game industry? Typically, of course, this is depending from studio to studio. Generally, there's open concept. There are less partition and rooms, a lot of discussion area with whiteboards. We usually have casual dress code and almost flat management hierarchy, and a lot of creatives and fun activities such as brainstorming, jamming, and playing games and all that as part of the workplace culture. So what are the specific skill sets required that you need to join the game industry? Of course, as mentioned through the videos as well, the first and the most important one is passion. It's not like passion is the only thing that you need. It's more like a prerequisite, because without passion, you will not have the discipline and the ability to problem solve, do critical thinking, and be creative and imaginative, and have the communication skills to work with the team. Because the passion is kind of supplement all that hardship and difficulties that you will face in the game industry. And of course, you need a competency in specific skill set, be it programming, be it art, be it game design. And the bonus one, I think, the most important one, I think, to actually have the non-work related hobbies or passions, such as the best kind of animator. Let's say if you are working on a fighting game, right, is someone who actually practice taekwondo, silat, or karate, or jiu-jitsu, because throughout their other passion outside of their career, they have seen a lot of body movement, locomotion, and how people actually do combat in that might be functional in a fighting game. So the best kind of animator is someone who actually does practice some sort of martial arts, and that will be really useful for the studio to hire someone with a non-work related hobbies or passion that is additional to what they're going to do in their role. Moving forward, that we've shared a lot of videos about the global game industry. There's a lot of videos of things from outside Malaysia. So let's take a perspective of Malaysian game industry itself. There's a lot of success story in the Malaysian game industry. This is some of those that I can quickly compile and share with you. So there's Malaysian footprint on the global blockbuster games such as Street Fighter V by Streamline Studios, who work on it, and Gears of War 5 that's worked by Lemon Sky, and also PlayStation Studios Marvel Spider-Man. that was worked by Passion Republic. All these studios have contributed game art and co-development for these blockbuster games that's very well known worldwide. On top of that, we have a lot of award-winning indie studios who've submitted and won awards globally, from US to Taiwan to Japan to Korea. And this shows that the kind of a product that Malaysians can make. And this is some of the studios that you can take a look there, and some of the awards that have won throughout the years. And on top of that, there's a lot of top international game companies located in Malaysia. So PlayStation Studios Malaysia is one of them. And there's a lot of other studios as well, such as Bandai Namco Studios, Codemasters, and Deluxe Games. And also, when we talk about globally known Malaysian game IP, there are some Malaysian IPs who've penetrated and expanded globally and sold globally through various platforms such as Steam, Epic Game Store, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. There are games like No Straight Roads, Relegend, Simulacra, Azimius, Warpots, and also Rhythm Doctor. And on top of that, some of the unique exclusive platform deals that has happened for the last few years, such as Kings League, was selected among the top 100 games launched at Apple Arcade. So you can imagine there's like thousands of games that submitted to Apple Arcade, and one of the games that was selected as the top 100 was Malaysian made. And also we have No Straight Roads exclusive platform deal with Epic Game Store, and those are the kind of things that we celebrate in the game industry. And kind of put that perspective, I'll just share the clip of The Game Changer by a friend of mine, Sean Beck.
In a world that restricts your imagination, I had to break free. Whether it was flying through space or designing a city, anything I could imagine, I could be. It made me realize what I wanted to do, but it also made me realize how much people didn't want me to do it. Friends.
Get a real job, bro.
Teachers.
No, in my class.
They told me games were a hobby, not a job. And me failing my first 2 games just proved them right. But I believed in what I was doing, and I believed in myself. And now, people are finally starting to see the potential in games. Because making games, it's just as much a part of science, technology, and engineering as any field. Sure, my job may not save lives or change the world, but if I can create a world where kids can be whatever they want to be, then I think I've done enough. I truly and strongly believe so. Growing up, it felt like the whole world was trying to limit my imagination. But through technology and engineering, I found a way to bring it to life. So, who said games can't be both a hobby and a job?
Okay, that's sort of the to bring it down to earth, where in Malaysia we have such as inspiring game developers such as Sean Beck, who kind of like had a couple of failures throughout his first few projects, and after that find more successful through his other upcoming projects. So let's talk about the type of game companies that we have in Malaysia and globally. So generally there are kind of like 5 different kind of game companies. The first one is actually indie game studios. So usually this is really small, between 1 to 10, very equivalent to sort of a startup environment in the tech world. And then we have mid-sized game studio, which is between 10 to 100 packs as well. And then we have the art production studios between 30 to 300 packs. And of course, we have game publishers who do not make games, but they actually publish and sell games and distribute locally and globally. And we have large game studio, which is 100 packs to 500 packs. So let's take a look at what we have in Malaysia. So this is some of the studios. There's Weird-Works, where Sean Beck is from, Night Morning, Ghost Space Pop, Sleepy Rock, Luso Lab, 7-Bit Games, Twin Tree Games, Logical Games, Personal Theory, FE Games, and Nerduk Productions. So these some the examples of indie game studios we have in Malaysia. You can check them out. There are some mid-sized game studios. Most of them started from indie, and as they grow and they have established their sales and their business model, they kind of grow and get more people and grow to have a bigger team size. So this is App Store, Kureishi, Magnus Game Studio, Metronomic, Kaigan Games, Xenobi, and more. There's also art production studios, so they specialize focusing on creating art content for the game industry. And this is such as Bandai Namco Studios, Lemon Sky, Passion Republic, Streamline Games, Codemasters, and more. So you can take a look at them as well. These are the game publishers that we have in Malaysia. So some of you who play locally release games, you probably have seen their names around. They usually come from the background of bringing MMORPGs to Malaysia, but now there's a lot of them are venturing into mobile as well. So you can take a look at them as well. And when we talk about large game studio, I wouldn't say there isn't one yet in Malaysia, but there's some good news related to that. A lot of these studios are actually nearby Malaysia. When we talk about large game development studios, it means that there are full production studios that do from programming, game design, art production, and everything. And usually this is between the size of 100 to 500 people. The good news is that you can check it out, all the list of the companies at this website, bit.ly/GameDevCompaniesMY. So this is compiled by SGT in Malaysia. And the good news is that there's a lot of new international game studios setting up in Malaysia, and some of those are Larian Studios, UK's Double 11, Larian Studios actually from Belgium, and of course Sony Interactive Entertainment that opens PlayStation Studios Malaysia, where I'm part of. So essentially that's where we see a lot of excitement of studios coming to global studios coming to Malaysia to kind of like tap into the talent pool that we have here. So about us, essentially we've been here for almost a year plus, and essentially what we're doing is that we're trying to grow a team here. We are very much aggressively hiring, and we'll be able to share a bit more details of what kind of talent we are looking for. So this is some of the job positions that we have at PlayStation Studios Malaysia. We broke down to different departments such as art, animation, production, tech art and engineering, training, human resource, and IT. So these are some of the job roles that we have, and sort of the responsibility that they will do as part of their roles at PlayStation Studios Malaysia. So, and we are looking for more talents to fill in some of these roles. So please do check us out on LinkedIn and online on the career website. So what kind of qualities the company looks for in artists? So basically, we look for a strong foundation of art, and basically understanding of video game production process, how generally we create games, and of course, an extremely good looking portfolio to kind of show off your talents to the company. So essentially that's very important. The portfolio is kind of like the gateway for you to get an interview with us, because we always filter through portfolio first, and then the suitable candidate we will call them up for interviews. Of course, you need to be self-motivated and have strong communication skills and a team mindset to work with everyone. And advice on embarking into a game dev career: finding out early what you want to build games, find what kind of specialization that I've shared earlier, the kind of specific roles. If you don't know, you can ask to understand what kind of roles is that, and if that fits your characteristic, your personality as well. And focus your portfolio to the genre and the specialization that you'll be applying. And also do not limit yourself in one style. Show different kind of variety of work that you can do. And of course, getting involved with the art and development community will help you to kind of like network, grow your network, and bench yourself against the global talent pool. And of course, you need to love playing games, because it's the reason why you want to be in the industry, because it's such a challenging and fun industry. But you need to love the craft for you to be able to create a good product yourself. Before I end, there's one last video.
There are days I'm in a meeting and we're talking about this great game on the PlayStation 4, and I think, we're getting paid to do this. This is amazing.
Everyone that works here is so incredibly passionate about being here.
It's really fun to work on something that millions of people are going to be playing.
I want to work on stuff that brings joy to a lot of people. We get to do that every day. Our mission is to deliver joy.
Working on PlayStation is a chance to influence the future of entertainment. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be a part of that.
Not everybody that turns on a PlayStation is a gamer. It's not all about games. There's a lot more.
We also have video and Now and Plus, so we really see ourselves as an entertainment brand.
As we turn our sights towards creating all new experiences with virtual reality and whatever comes next, the culture is the same.
People can have visibility and make an impact here daily and are given that chance.
Everyone's really excited to collaborate, which is very much encouraged by the culture here.
We get opportunities to help give back to the community. We're not just entertainment, but we think about social justice issues and help make a difference in the world.
There's a lot of opportunity to attend workshops, attend leadership seminars.
And we like to have fun. There's always something going on in the office.
From the social events to the cultural events, there really is something for everyone.
The company is growing at kind of this really quick rate.
There's so much opportunity here just because things are changing so fast.
The future for PlayStation is bright. We make the future right here.
I tell someone I work for PlayStation and they say, that is so cool, tell me more about your job. And I recommend it all the time. It's a great place to work.
PlayStation.
That's all. Thank you for listening to the talk. Feel free to ask any question that you have to me. I'll be able to answer as much as I can for the Q&A session.
Okey, ada soalan daripada peserta dalam Zoom? Okey, baiklah. Nampak gayanya tiada soalan dalam Zoom kita. Jadi, terima kasih Encik Bas. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Encik Bazil Akmal Bidin atas perkongsian yang begitu menarik tentang kerjaya teknologi digital, career guide for the game industry sebentar tadi. Diharapkan selepas mendengar webinar itu tadi, semua peserta, terutamanya murid-murid, semakin jelas tentang pelbagai pilihan kerjaya dalam bidang teknologi, digital dan game industri ini. Buat murid-murid dan juga peserta khususnya, pastikan kita ini bukan hanya bijak dalam bermain game sahaja. Sebaliknya, jadikan perkongsian Mr. Bas pada hari ini sebagai satu panduan untuk kita menjadi salah seorang bukan pemain game sahaja, sebaliknya kita jadi seorang game developer ataupun game designer seperti Mr. Bas, supaya kita akan dapat perbagaikan lagi hasil-hasil game yang lebih menarik dan juga dapat membanggakan negara kita Malaysia. Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Mr. Bas atas perkongsian. Assalamualaikum, jumpa lagi. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, para peserta di Zoom, para penonton di FB My Digital dan juga YouTube MGKK Negeri Perak, kita masih ada lagi 1 jam untuk bersiaran. Jadi pastikan anda semua terus kekal bersama dengan kami sehingga jam 4.30 petang ini ya. Jangan berganjak daripada kerusi anda kerana selepas ini kita akan mendengar satu lagi perkongsian menarik yang bertajuk Augmented Reality in School. Jadi untuk tidak melengahkan masa lagi, dipersilakan Cikgu Syukri Sulaiman iaitu Cikgu Juara Digital dari Maktab Rendah Sains Mara Taiping untuk menyampaikan perkongsian beliau. Jadi untuk itu, dipersilakan Cikgu.
Okey, terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Puan Marshida, moderator kita pada sesi petang ini. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Baik, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat petang saya ucapkan kepada semua rakan-rakan pendengar yang berada di Facebook ataupun di mana-mana kawasan anda berada sekarang kan. Untuk waktu petang, hari ini kita bersama dalam program MYDIGITALMAKER Virtual Fair, okey, anjuran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Perak. Okey. Jadi saya nak ucapkan jutaan terima kasih kepada MYDIGITALMAKER MDEC kerana memberi saya ruang dan peluang untuk membuat sedikit perkongsian pada petang ini berkaitan dengan augmented reality. Okey, antara perkara yang perlu dikuasai oleh semua guru-guru dan juga semua pelajar. So hari ini saya akan bercakap dari aspek ataupun dari sudut sebagai seorang pendidik untuk pada semua pendengar-pendengar. Okey. Dan ini adalah sesi perkongsian. Jadi seandainya ada soalan dan sebarang soalan lah ingin diajukan, bolehlah bertanya di Facebook. Nanti Puan Marshida akan bantu saya lah untuk soalan tersebut. Okey. Baik, seperti yang diberitahu oleh moderator kita pada petang ini, Augmented Reality in School ataupun Augmented Reality in Education with Reality Composer. Sekali lagi, nama saya Muhammad Syukri bin Sulaiman, guru pendidikan Islam yang mengajar di Maktab Rendah Sains Mara Taiping Perak atau dikenali sebagai Apple Distinguished School. Okay, since 2017 until now. We are recognized by Apple as an ADS, Apple Distinguished School. Okay, saya juga merupakan seorang Apple Distinguished Educator dan juga Apple Professional Learning Specialist. Dan tak lupa saya adalah Cikgu Juara Digital 2020. Kiranya batch pertama lah ni. Okay, so terima kasih saya ucapkan. Baik, sedikit tentang diri saya sebelum kita jump into the main topic. Okay, saya terlibat dalam pembuatan prosthetic arm. Okay, selain daripada guru pendidikan Islam, adalah sedikit kelebihan lain. Kita ada kepakaran dalam menyediakan, menghasilkan prosthetic arm menggunakan mesin pencetakan 3D printer. Okay, saya mula pada 2016 dengan cikgu saya, Encik Sujana binti Rejab atau lebih dikenali dengan panggilan Pak Su. Okay. And then 2016 saya belajar dengan dia, 2017 saya start hasilkan prosthetic arm sendiri bersama beliau juga, dibantu dengan beliau. Okey. Dan ini 2017 punya lah. Okey, ini antara proses penyediaan lah, proses-proses penyediaan untuk menghasilkan prosthetic arm. Kemudian 2018, inilah satu tangan lain. So setahun satu tangan je lah. Ini kira saya punya CSR lah, community service. Okey. Kita bantu pada orang yang memerlukan. Okay. Jadi kita hasilkan tangan ni untuk orang-orang yang OKU lah, orang kelainan upaya, juga merasa confident lah. Saya sebagai seorang guru, saya akan bantu especially kanak-kanak lah, pelajar, untuk kita apa orang cakap, lahirkan balik keyakinan dalam diri dia. Okay, yang ini 2018 punya prosthetic arm. Macam tangan Iron Man sikit lah kalau tuan-tuan dan perempuan tengok kan, anak-anak adik-adik pelajar tengok. Ini pun sama proses pembuatan dia. Okey. Kemudian yang ini 2019. Yang ni kita kecilkan sikit sebab kalau tengok sebelum ni, yang ni dia the whole arm from elbow to tangan kan. Tapi yang This one kita buat simple sikit sebab tangan adik ni dia ada je sampai siku dan ke bawah. So dia tak ada bahagian wrist ni, tak ada. So kita buat yang untuk sesuai dengan wrist ni lah. Okay, yang ni dia disponsored by Geli-Geli Kucing Taiping, syarikat kedai kucing lah, kedai kucing. So dia sudi membantu kami. So kita minta dia ni lah bagi filament and then kita buat. Kemudian 2019, yang ni disponsor oleh Ikan Bakar Umbai Melaka. Saya berada di Taiping, Perak, tapi mana adik-adik yang memerlukan, kita buat je lah, and then kita pergi hantar lah. Okay, ini untuk adik, siapa nama adik ni, lupa dah saya, tapi dia berada di Melaka lah. Adik ni pun sama juga, dia masalah dia tangan. Jari dia tak ada. Jari dia tak ada, dia ada penumbuk je. Okay, so kita hasilkan yang ni lah, bantu mereka. Baik, kemudian yang ini saya sekolah, cikgu kan, as a teacher, inilah di sekolah. Okay, so kami ADS, kami menggunakan iPad, fully iPad lah di sekolah, either teacher or students and also administration. Semuanya menggunakan teknologi iPad as a man lah untuk mengajar, teaching and learning and so on. Okay, mesyuarat ke dan sebagainya lah. So yang ini in between MCO 1-2 kita ada masuk sekolah kejap kan. So kita ada buat aktiviti lah untuk green screen dan sebagainya menggunakan iPad. So sekali lagi saya guru pendidikan Islam. So ini topik-topik berkaitan dengan pendidikan Islam lah. Okay. Baik, hari ini fokus kita, fokus perbincangan kita adalah berkaitan dengan augmented reality. Antara aplikasi yang adik-adik pelajar, guru-guru boleh menggunakan iPad atau iPhone. Okay. Augmented reality dihasilkan menggunakan aplikasi reality composer. So dia sangat memudahkan dan dia sangat membantu. Okay. Sebab dulu kalau kita cakap berkaitan dengan augmented reality, dia antara benda yang sangat susah untuk develop. Okay. Terutamanya kalau macam contoh saya guru pendidikan Islam, guru-guru yang subjek teras lah, contoh bahasa Melayu, bahasa Inggeris, sejarah, yang kurang kepakaran dalam bidang teknologi, dia akan augmented reality susahnya sebab dia ada perlukan coding, dia perlukan macam-macam lah kan. So guru-guru yang terlibat dengan teknologi, guru-guru sains komputer, guru-guru komputer, ini memang diorang punya dalam bahasa mudah dia makanan diorang lah kan. Sebab memang diorang selalu terlibat dengan benda-benda macam ni kan. Tapi untuk hari ini kerana kecanggihan teknologi itu sendiri, okay, dia dah membantu kita, memudahkan kita. Okay, that's why saya kena as a teacher, kita kena empower this technology. That's why saya selalu remindkan diri saya dan juga semua rakan-rakan yang ada, especially as a educator, kuasai TPAC. T, teknologi, P, pedagogi, C, content, and the last one, K, knowledge, TPAC. Okay, so bila kita empower the technology, we know how to integrate the technology dengan subjek yang kita ajar. So iPad dia bawa datang reality composer untuk kita hasilkan AR, no coding. So adik-adik pelajar pun boleh bangunkan augmented reality dengan menggunakan iPad atau iPhone. Guna MacBook boleh tak? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Tapi dia punya aplikasi dia adalah menggunakan Xcode lah. Okay. Tapi untuk iPad dan juga iPhone, kita tak perlukan coding, tak perlukan kod-kod. Dengan reality composer kita boleh hasilkan terus augmented reality. Kemudian dia ada ni, export to USDZ file. Ini yang paling best. Sebab apa saya kata best? Sebab dengan kita dah export ke USDZ file, kita boleh share semua projek yang kita bangun kepada pelajar-pelajar. Kita boleh share hasil-hasil kita untuk pelajar gunakan. Gunakan device mereka sendirilah. Okay. Kemudian dia fun and interactive. Sebab dalam reality composer dia bukan AR, augmented reality yang static. Dia boleh ada, boleh keluarkan music, dia boleh keluarkan sound effect, animation. Dia sangat interaktif. Bila you tap satu button, ada efek lain. Bila tap button yang lain, ada efek lain. So ini kelebihan aplikasi reality composer. So pada siapa yang menggunakan iPad atau pada siapa yang menggunakan iPhone, Okay, tolong pergi ke App Store, download Reality Composer. Apps dia tak adalah berat sangat. Okay. Baik, seterusnya. Okay, augmented reality in learning means that saya akan tunjukkan kepada semua pendengar-pendengar, okay, bagaimana saya dan rakan-rakan dan juga pelajar membangunkan ataupun menggunakan augmented reality mengikut kesesuaian subjek yang kami ajar. Okay. Baik, sekali lagi saya ingatkan kalau ada soalan jangan malu-malu untuk bertanya. Tanya, insya-Allah mana yang saya boleh jawab, saya cuba jawab. Mana yang kita tak jawab, saya tak boleh jawab, kita KIV dulu, okey? Baik, ini satu contoh bila mana muzik kita gabungkan dengan augmented reality. Okey, kita tengok Okey, saya stop kat situ. So kalau kita tengok dalam augmented reality ni, dalam reality composer ni ada satu instrumen sahaja. Tapi bila kita dengar muzik tu ada banyak instrumen kan. So maksudnya kita boleh combination, okey, antara aplikasi GarageBand dan reality composer. So dia very powerful lah. So kita kena manfaatkan iPad yang ada di tangan kita. Okey, ini contoh bagaimana penggunaan dalam muzik. Okey. Kalau saya sambung sikit lagi. Okey, next. Okey, yang ini yang kedua. Okey, berkaitan dengan bagaimana games, kita bangunkan games menggunakan reality composer. Okey, nanti saya akan tunjukkan the real one. Okey, yang ini kita bangunkan game. Okey. So tambah-tambah PDPR ni kan, pembelajaran secara alam maya kan. Kita bila cikgu bila sekolah decide 1 jam untuk satu subjek, selalunya kita tak boleh lah nak beri pelajar dia tak boleh nak fokus 1 jam tu sepenuhnya kan, sebab sebelum subjek kita mungkin dah ada subjek-subjek lain. So kita kena ada aktiviti yang bersesuaian secara dalam talian. So aktiviti macam ni sangat sesuai digunakan pada pelajar. Okey. So yang ni just satu game yang kita bangunkan menggunakan augmented reality. So konsep yang sama kita buat ke real world punya. Okey, ini dalam augmented reality. Okey. So maksudnya pelajar pun dia alright, seronok lah. So bila kita tap bola tu, dia pergi bagi dekat ada langgar tembok tu apa yang ada, buah apa yang ada dalam tu. So mungkin lepas ni kita boleh buat macam-macam kan. So untuk orang cakap sebagai salingan pembelajaran kita kan, sebab kita kadang-kadang nak pastikan pelajar ni fokus, kita kena tarik sikit diorang punya fokus tentang konten tu kepada benda lain lah, benda salingan kan. Okey. So kita tarik sikit. Baik. Seterusnya saya tunjukkan ini antara penggunaan augmented reality menggunakan reality composer. Konsep dia menggunakan behavior scene. Okey, maksudnya bila kita scan menggunakan iPad, kemudian kita bawa masuk, kemudian kita bawa masuk tu maksudnya kita dekat ke globe ni. Okey, kita dekat ke globe, nanti dia akan tukar scene yang lain. Okey, saya tunjukkan contoh. Okey. Sekarang saya dah scan. Okey, ni dia punya behavior, keluar dia punya arrow. Okey. Saya dekatkan iPad saya. Terus keluar. Saya dekatkan ke negara Malaysia, keluar Perak. Apa yang ada di sekitar Taiping. Maksudnya kalau kawan-kawan nak datang Taiping, apa tempat yang you boleh pergi? Ada Zoo Taiping, ada Taman Tasik, ada Antong Coffee, ada Kilang Arang dan a few tempat yang menarik lah. Okay. So maksudnya kegunaan macam subjek geografi, subjek sejarah juga boleh digunakan, boleh menggunakan augmented reality. Tak ada masalah. Cuma bagaimana cara kita guru ataupun pelajar berkreativiti, berkarya dalam reality composer tu. Okey. Baik, seterusnya saya akan tunjukkan yang ini pun sama juga, sekadar game. Tapi game ini kita buat dalam kita boleh ubah dia. Okey, dice ni, dadu, kita boleh ubah lah. Macam sekarang kalau tengok saya letak huruf Y R, actually ini nama saya sebenarnya, SYUKR. Okey. Kita boleh ubah setiap surface ni, kita boleh ubah kepada benda yang kita nak. Nak letak nombor ke, nak letak attitude ke, nak letak apa, anything boleh, tak ada masalah. Okey. So kita tengok. So bila saya tap kita tap pada iPad kita, tap pada dadu tersebut, dice tersebut. Okey. Kita tap, dadu tu pun melompat, teng 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 teng. So dia pusing lah. Okey. So ini masih dalam konsep game lagi. So kalau kita nak buat chess, giant chess tu kan, dekat luar menggunakan augmented reality ke, ataupun nak buat apa, dam ular gergasi, yang kita selalu main dam ular kan dalam bentuk augmented reality, lebih menarik, pun boleh guna cara macam ni. Okay, so ini pun sama juga, ini adalah game. Okay, game yang kita bangunkan menggunakan reality composer. Alright, next one. Okay, ini kita pergi kepada subjek. Okay, yang ini di subjek sejarah. Okay, subjek sejarah ni semua orang tahulah, dia similarly like pendidikan Islam sebenarnya. Okay, kalau dalam SPM, teknik menjawab dia ramai pelajar keliru. Antara nak jawab sejarah, kadang-kadang terjawab cara pendidikan Islam, terjawab cara sejarah, sejarah terjawab cara pendidikan Islam. Satu. Yang kedua, belajar benda yang sejarah tak ramai yang minat kan, pendidikan Islam pun tak ramai yang minat. So macam mana cara kita nak tarik minat pelajar-pelajar, macam mana guru-guru nak gunakan reality composer ataupun augmented reality untuk menghasilkan subjek teras macam saya ajar ni, sejarah pendidikan Islam ni. So ni salah satu idea. Okey, ini berkaitan dengan negeri Melaka. Bagaimana negeri Melaka, proses penubuhan negeri Melaka lah. Okey, kita tengok sama-sama.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahus samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad.
Okey. So itu salah satu contoh lah. Kalau kita perasan tadi, bagaimana kita mulakan, tengok kalau dalam subjek sejarah, ini kita ambil daripada buku sejarah kan. Okey, saya stop kat sini. Kita just tengok gambar dan juga wording, tapi menggunakan augmented reality, kita boleh buat dia live and then kita gabungkan dengan elemen audio, sound effect. Contoh macam ni tadi, kita masukkan sound effect anjing Okey, dan bukan saja sound effect anjing, dan bunyi hutan tu, bunyi real kicauan, real animals kan. So pelajar pun okey, inilah keadaan gambaran dia. So diorang pun boleh visual dengan baik. Okey, kita membantu mereka untuk pelajar-pelajar yang bukan jenis visualize ni, dia okey baru dia nampak, macam ni keadaan dia. Daripada kita tengok gambar pegun kan, gambar statik, so kita boleh nampak dengan lebih baik. Lepas tu kalau kita tengok yang lain pula Okey, yang ini gabungan image 2D kita masukkan dalam reality composer untuk jadikan dia augmented reality. Jadi dalam bentuk 3D. Okey. Kemudian sama juga next scene ni scene kedatangan Islam. Kan? So kita pun tunjukkan kedatangan Islam, orang tengah semayang. So apa yang
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Stop kat sini, okey? So kita boleh bagi gambaran pada pelajar. Bila kedatangan Islam di Melaka, apa yang diorang buat, okey, diorang sampaikan dengan surah apa, kenapa diorang mulakan dengan surah Al-Ikhlas dan sebagainya. So ini membantu pelajar lah untuk pemahaman pelajar. So kalau kita sambung
Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahus samad.
Yang ni kan?
Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad.
Hang Lipo, Puteri Hang Lipo daripada negara China datang ke Melaka. So kita bawakan elemen muzik yang sesuai. So dengan iPad di GarageBand ada elemen muzik tersebut. So kita boleh manfaatkan dia. Bawa masuk dalam augmented reality, pelajar akan lebih seronok. So kita tak adalah tengok buku teks kan. Okay. Next. Lupa saya. Yang tadi itu disediakan oleh rakan saya iaitu Dr. Azma. Okay, daripada UTEC. Baik. Seterusnya kita tengok yang ini. Okay. Dalam cube yang gelap. Ada wall kat situ. Okay. Kemudian kita tengok apa yang ada dalam wall tu. Kita masuk. Okay, kita tinjau dulu. Sebelum masuk kita tinjau dulu. Okay, baru kita masuk. Okay. Okay, this is augmented reality. Kita bawa pelajar kita. Ya, mungkin idea ni cikgu-cikgu nak gunakan atau pelajar-pelajar nak buat berkaitan dengan keadaan, situasi, contoh dalam subjek sejarah kan, topik zaman-zaman sebelum ada zaman-zaman, ada few zaman kan. So kita boleh gunakan kalau dalam subjek pendidikan Islam misalnya kita nak tunjukkan bagaimana gambaran dalam Kaabah. Kita boleh letak, tak ada masalah, no problem. Okay, cuma kita kena pastikan dia dari sumber yang betul lah. Jangan kita buat sembrono je kan. Okay, next. Okay, yang ini berkaitan dengan machine. Okay, saya play. Kita tengok behavior yang berlaku dalam video ini. Behavior ni maksudnya animation yang berlaku. Okay, kita nak tunjukkan pada pelajar. Misalnya kita mengajar otomotif, nak tunjukkan di dalam sebuah enjin, sebelum kita pergi ke the real engine, kan? Kalau pelajar kat rumah sekarang ni PDPR tak ada engine, tak ada real engine, engine kereta kan? So kita boleh gunakan augmented reality untuk tunjukkan pada pelajar macam mana cara kita nak buka part head sebelum keluarkan, nak tunjukkan piston dan sebagainya. So augmented reality ni dia sangat membantu. Okay, dia memudahkan guru-guru dalam menyampaikan kefahaman kepada pelajar. Okay. Next, yang ini berkaitan dengan subjek Maths. Okay, ini subjek Maths. Okay, cikgu ni dia buat soalan. Okay, kat sini dia letak soalan. Okay, kemudian dia minta pelajar kira. Dia beri gambaran. Okay, kalau kita letak soalan sahaja, tanpa berikan apa orang cakap video ataupun satu imajinasi pada pelajar, mungkin pelajar macam tak nampak pesawat A kelajuan 450 meter, so dia nak kena draw, dia nak kena imagine dulu sebelum dia jawab. So dengan augmented reality kita dah memudahkan pelajar tersebut dan dia akan nampak, oh, okay, this is apa yang berlaku, so dia boleh terus jawab soalan dengan baik. Okay. Lambat sikit yang ni. Kapal terbang ni turun kan sebab dia kapal terbang yang lambat kan. Semua design ini, okey, design gunung, design awan, design bendera, design kapal terbang, aeroplan ni semuanya boleh didapati di dalam aplikasi Reality Composer. Dia dah sediakan kita design-design ni. Alright, kemudian yang ni okey, ni contoh untuk subjek sejarah. Okey, kedatangan Jepun ke tanah Melayu. Okay, so Jepun dia datang, dia bawa masuk dari negeri, dia datang, dia mendarat di Kelantan dahulu kan. So nanti kita tengok bagaimana cikgu ni fokuskan kepada negeri Kelantan, okey. So bila dia jam ke Kelantan, dia fokus iPad dia ke Kelantan, terus tukar scene. Apa scene yang berlaku dia tunjukkan. Ada fakta, ada info kat situ. Pendaratan Jepun di Kota Baru adalah pada musim Tengkujuh, Jepun diketuai oleh Jeneral Yamashita dan Jepun mara ke Pahang selepas menawan Kota Baru, Kelantan. So kita membantu pelajar untuk tunjukkan di mana Jepun landing. Lepas dia dekat Kelantan tu dia pergi ke mana dulu? Dia pergi ke Perlis dulu ke Terengganu ke. So kita bantu pelajar sebenarnya. Kan? So ini pentingnya augmented reality. Tambah-tambah sekarang generasi hari ni diorang ni memang generasi yang apa orang cakap membangun kan, membangun dan membesar bersama teknologi. Baik, next. Okey, ini buku cerita. Okey, sebuah buku cerita. Kemudian kita jadikan dia sebagai AR. Inilah hasilnya. Okey, kita boleh nampak kat sini daripada buku tadi. Okey, ni daripada buku tadi, ni watak dia. Okey, kemudian kita hasilkan AR. Dan akhirnya dia jadi macam ni. Okay.
A mouse took a stroll through the deep dark wood. The Gruffalo saw the mouse and the mouse looked good.
Okey. Tapi kalau pelajar-pelajar, rakan-rakan penonton yang ada di Facebook sekarang, di social media, perasan yang ini dia adalah 2D. Okey, yang ini yang 3D-nya. Okey, tapi kita boleh gabungkan. So tak ada masalah. So ini antara kelebihan aplikasi Reality Composer di iPad ataupun di iPhone. Kita boleh interact dengan apps Keynote dan sebagainya. Okey. Okey, ini antara hasil daripada rakan kita juga, Dr. Nizam. Okey, dia tunjukkan apa efek kalau bola itu dengan kelajuan 10 km/h. Bowling tu, bola bowling ni 10 km/h apa yang berlaku? Kalau 15 km/h apa yang berlaku? 20 km/h apa yang berlaku? So kita boleh bantu pelajar kat sini. Jom kita tengok. Sikit je yang jatuh. Jatuhan pin tu kan. Okey, kita tengok 15 km pula. Alright, semua jatuh. Tengok 20 km. Oh, lagi kuat kan? Lagi efek dia lagi besar lah. So efek dia lagi kuat. So kat sini pun kita boleh gunakan untuk pelajar-pelajar memahami tentang apa kesan-kesan daripada 10, 15 dan 20 km/h impact yang berlaku. Okey. So ini untuk bukan saja subjek math sebenarnya. Subjek-subjek lain pun boleh buat juga, tak ada masalah. Okey. Seterusnya. Alright, yang ini adalah solar system. Okey, saya play dulu. Okey. 10 revolution of Earth. Alright, 1 revolution of Neptune. Bagaimana solar system itu bekerja. Okey. Alright, so bayangkan kalau kita nak ajar pada anak-anak pelajar kita, adik-adik pelajar kita kan, yang darjah tingkatan 1 yang baru nak kenal tentang solar system dengan menggunakan aplikasi augmented reality. Mereka akan lebih nampak, mereka akan lebih jelas bagaimana kedudukan susunan sesebuah planet tersebut yang dekat dengan matahari, yang paling jauh dengan matahari, kenapa, so bagaimana dia punya pusingan, okey, bagaimana pusingan bumi mengelilingi matahari, bulan mengelilingi bumi. So benda inilah yang membantu membantu pemahaman pelajar. Kalau dulu masa kita sekolah dulu, cikgu akan gunakan apa orang cakap, besi, kemudian guna dawai untuk lilit, guna ikat, buat rotation dan sebagainya. Tapi itu dulu. Sekarang kita dah ada teknologi, so kita gunakan teknologi untuk memberi kefahaman kepada pelajar. Okay. Alright, yang ini adalah drone. Okay, drone yang dibangunkan sepenuhnya menggunakan reality composer. Okay, jom kita tengok. Okay, yang besar drone ni. Okay. So kita nak buat drone kita sendiri, kita nak design drone kita sendiri. Kelebihan drone kita apa? Kita nak drone kita ada sayap. Kenapa nak kena ada sayap? Supaya mudah nak kontrol kiri dan kanan dan sebagainya. Kalau kita nak buat penghantaran makanan ke di tempat, di ruang-ruang yang sempit dan sebagainya kan. So ataupun nak hantar kit, first aid punya kit pun boleh, tak ada masalah. So kita design drone kita menggunakan reality composer, dan kita boleh tengok kat mana dia punya kelemahan dan mana kita boleh buat penambahbaikan dan sebagainya. Okay. So dia membantu kita dalam memastikan design kita perfect, sempurna. Okay. Next one. Alright. PDPR, pelajar tak boleh ke sekolah. Dan saya sangat yakinlah bilangan pelajar di rumah pelajar yang ada lab. Saya rasa tak ada kot. Setakat saya tahulah kan, setakat yang saya tahu. Mungkin ada tapi tak banyak lah. Tak ramai pelajar yang ada lab di rumah. Kalau ada lab mungkin sebab ibu ayah mereka, family mereka terlibat dengan kerja-kerja yang sepatutnya. Okay. So dengan reality composer, kita boleh hasilkan augmented reality, AR lab kita. So kita boleh bagi tahu pelajar macam mana kita nak gunakan apa dan sebagainya. Okay. So kita tengok yang ini dibangunkan oleh Dr. Hafizah daripada UKM. Okay. Dia bangunkan satu lab, augmented reality lab. Kita tengok.
Welcome to AR Biology Lab. There are 3 AR experiences for you to choose. Have fun!
Okay, kita tap apa yang berlaku. Nampak tu? So, pelajar akan lebih jelas. Okay. Okay, kita tap yang kedua. Alright.
Respiration is the process of gas exchange between organism and its environment. The respiratory system of human consists of the lungs and a series of tubes. Oxygen from the environment is taken up and delivered to individual cells. Carbon dioxide generated during cellular respiration is excreted into the environment. Air enters the body through the nostrils and flows through the nasal cavities. The back of the nasal cavities is continuous with the pharynx. An opening in the floor of the pharynx leads into the larynx. From the larynx, air passes into the trachea. The trachea divides into 2 branches, the bronchi, each of which connects to a lung. The right lung has 3 lobes, and left lung has 2 lobes, which cover with a pleural membrane. Pleural membrane forms a continuous sac that encloses the lung. The lungs are large, paired, and spongy organs occupying the chest cavity. The muscular floor of the chest cavity is the diaphragm.
Okay. So, maksudnya kita boleh hasilkan lab AR kita yang similarly like apa yang ada di sekolah. Okay. So kita tengok apa barang-barang yang ada di sekolah, kemudian kita design dan kita boleh completekan dia dan boleh share dengan pelajar. Ataupun kita terus videokan macam yang saya tunjukkan sekarang, dan kita share rakaman ini pada pelajar. So pelajar akan lebih jelas, pelajar akan lebih nampak. Maksud lalu kalau benda ni kita belajar dalam lab, Tapi tak ada lab pun, kita still lagi boleh belajar dan kita boleh dapat apa yang kita patut dapat di dalam lab. So dengan AR lab menggunakan reality composer, dia sangat membantu. Okey, membantu guru dan juga pelajar. So lab assistant pun tak payahlah buat apa-apa kan. So dia bantu kita menghasilkan kita punya design augmented reality. Okey, next. Yang ini thermal power station. Bukan semua orang ada peluang nak pergi tempat-tempat macam ni. Mungkin kawasan sekolah yang jauh dari kawasan thermal power station. Macam di Taiping sendiri pun tak ada. Ada ke? Tak ada saya rasa. Okay? So kita nak tunjukkan pelajar macam mana ia berfungsi, macam mana dia bekerja. So kita boleh gunakan augmented reality untuk bagi tahu pada pelajar macam mana proses itu berlaku. Okay? So saya tunjukkan. Okay, kita boleh buat masuk efek. Kemudian arrow tu bergerak. Okay, nak menunjukkan bagaimana dia proses. Okay, so pelajar akan lebih nampak. Kemudian apa yang dipanaskan, ada boiler tu dipanaskan, kemudian ada berlaku menggo tu turbine, so dia akan nampak the whole process. Kita tak perlu pergi pun ke power station.
Burning of fuel.
Okay.
Boiling water produces steam. Steam rotates the turbine. Generator produces electricity.
Okay, so pelajar akan lebih nampak lah kan bagaimana proses proses tersebut berlaku. Okay, thermal power station depan rumah je kita boleh buat kan, kita tak perlu pergi ke tempat tersebut. Kalau kita pergi pun mungkin kalau kita pergi satu-satu kan, kita mungkin tak nampak juga bagaimana benda tu berlaku kan, tapi kita adalah pengalaman berada di situ. Tapi dengan menggunakan reality composer, menghasilkan augmented reality dengan thermal power station, pelajar akan lebih nampak dengan jelas. Okay, bagaimana proses tersebut berlaku. Baik, ini power station using wind energy. Okay. Sama juga design ini ada di dalam, disediakan di dalam reality composer. Okay. Alright, sebelum saya terlupa, saya back kejap. Okey, saya back kejap. Okey. Untuk design yang ini, design generator ni, ini kita ambil design di Sketchfab. Okey, antara website yang menyediakan design 3D untuk kegunaan augmented reality adalah Sketchfab. Okey, so rakan-rakan pelajar, rakan-rakan guru boleh dapatkan design tersebut di Sketchfab dan boleh terus masuk ke dalam reality composer. Okey. Cuma dia ada yang berbayar dan ada yang free. So kita tengoklah mana yang generator yang free tu kita boleh ambil, kita boleh gunakan. Okey. Baik. Okey, yang ni tadi power station using wind energy. Okey. This one, hydroelectric power station pun sama juga. Kalau di Taiping kita ada sistem hydroelectric power station ni, empangan ni. Di Taiping kita ada. Tapi kita tak berpeluang nak bawa pelajar ke sana. Kalau contoh berlaku MCO sekali lagi, na'udzubillah min zalik lah kan. Kalau berlaku lah contoh pelajar kat sekolah, kita tak boleh bawa pelajar. Nak keluar sesuka hati kan. Kalau pusat tersebut tak benarkan pun jadi problem juga. So, dengan adanya reality composer, okay, kita boleh tunjukkan kepada pelajar bagaimana sistem ataupun bagaimana proses tu berlaku di sana. Okay. Okay. So yang tu adalah air. Yang kita tengok tu adalah air lah. Bagaimana turbine tu. Okay. Alright. Saya ni sekejap. Okay. Seterusnya. Sorry. Okay. Yang ini adalah power station using solar energy. So kita nak tunjukkan pada pada pelajar kita kan, kita boleh hasilkan tenaga elektrik menggunakan air, gunakan solar, tadi gunakan angin. Okey, so ini antara punca kuasa yang ada di Malaysia yang kita boleh manfaatkan. Alam semula jadi kan. Okey, so kita nak tunjuk bagaimana power station using solar energy. Okay, ada panel-panel solar. So that's why kita letak matahari dan juga awan. So kalau kita tak letak, pelajar tak nampak lah kan, pelajar tak faham lah apa benda yang station solar energinya. Okay, ada solar panel kat situ. Okay, kalau kita tap tadi, tap for energy change. Daripada solar energy, bertukar Okay. Alright. So itu yang kita boleh tunjukkan kepada pelajar bagaimana power station using solar energy. So pelajar akan lebih jelas lah. Tap for mechanism, tap for energy. So ini yang saya kata interaktif. Okay, dia bukan static. Okay, yang ni kalau kita tap, dia boleh keluarkan info. Sama juga tap for energy change. Yang ini saya katakan interaktif. So augmented reality yang dihasilkan menggunakan reality composer, dia bukan static. Okay, kita boleh buat dia menarik. Okay. Baik, yang ini antara hasil pelajar. Okay, hasil pelajar daripada MRSM Taiping. Actually pelajar ini dia menang pertandingan My iPad STEM Ideation anjuran UKM. Okay, dengan kerjasama APLM, Apple Professional Learning Malaysia. Kita buat tentang STEM. Kemudian pelajar ni dia diberi tunjuk ajar dalam masa 4 hari, 4 sesi berkaitan dengan reality composer, dan akhirnya pelajar boleh hasilkan satu augmented reality yang sangat menarik. Okey. Okay, nampak kan idea dia? Macam mana pelajar tadi dia nak buat idea untuk orang yang lemas. Kita nak selamatkan orang tersebut dalam masa yang sangat pendek supaya dia tak lemas lah kan. Okay, so dia gunakan reality composer. Okay, Okay, dia gunakan reality composer dengan iPad. Okay, so itu yang paling menariknya lah. 100% menggunakan iPad. Okay, dia record video menggunakan iPad, green screen menggunakan iPad, dan juga design ini menggunakan reality composer di iPad. Okay, sekejap saya tulis sekali lagi. Okay, nama dia Nemo 4.0. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Semua yang ada dalam design ini, dia ada behavior dia sendiri. Okay. Dia punya ni pun bergerak, so dia nak tunjukkan macam mana benda ini proses Nemo ini sendiri. Okay. Nampak? Dia detect ada orang lemas, so dia bagi sound effect kat situ, ada orang lemas. Okay. Gunakan teknik green screen. Okay. Okay. Ini bagaimana dia tunjukkan dia transfer dia punya maklumat. Wah. Okay. Dia gerakkan helikopter tu bersama dengan what we call it pelampung. Okey, pelampung tu dia gerakkan sekali, so dia terus selamatkan mangsa tadi. So this is the idea. Okey, tak mustahil benda ni boleh berlaku. Kan? So pelajar dia nampak okey aku nak buat apa dan dia lebih faham, so dia hasilkan menggunakan reality composer. Yes, one day mungkin benda ni akan wujud. Kan? Okey, so tak mustahil. Dan inilah pertandingan dia, okey, STEM Digital Ideation Competition using AR on iPad. Okey, ini anjuran UKM, okey, kerjasama Fakulti Pendidikan, D5, ADE, APLP dan juga Apple Teacher lah. Okey. So ini antara pertandingan yang baru je berlangsung actually. Yang ini untuk student. Okey. And I think this one is last but not least, immersive augmented reality for educators with reality composer using iPad. Yang ini pun sama juga, baru je berlangsung. Okey, baru je habis, tapi kita punya closing ceremony belum lagi habis. Belum lagi berlaku. Okey, kalau tuan-tuan dan puan-puan perasan, closing ceremony dia akan dibuat oleh Dr. Wagih Syukri bin Hassan, bahagian sumber teknologi pendidikan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, 15 Oktober, coming Friday. Okey, so kita akan bagi tahulah siapa pemenang. Yang ini untuk educators, untuk semua guru. Okey, kita dah berlangsung bulan 9 hari tu untuk semua guru-guru dan juga pensyarah-pensyarah, dan kita ada juga rakan guru daripada Indonesia join kita punya bengkel. Okey. So sekali lagi saya nak remindkan pada pelajar-pelajar ataupun pada guru-guru lah, pada semua pendidik yang ada teknologi di tangan anda, kena manfaatkan, kena gunakan dia. Okey, cari idea, cari jalan bagaimana kita nak menggunakan teknologi tersebut dalam kita punya pendidikan. Okey, dalam keadaan sekarang ada negeri yang masih lagi PDPR, ada negeri yang dah mula bergerak sikit-sikit ke pembukaan sekolah, tapi bukan semua yang ada di sekolah kan. So kita nak kena blended learning pula. So gunakan teknologi yang ada di tangan anda untuk pastikan generasi kita tak hilang. Okey, mereka mendapat ilmu yang secukupnya. Okey, so ini antara tenaga-tenaga pengajar lah dalam augmented reality dari kalangan Apple Professional Learning Malaysia. Okey. Yes, ini yang terakhir dari saya. So untuk rakan-rakan pendengar yang nak follow saya di Twitter, boleh follow saya di Twitter. Ada beberapa perkongsian yang kita buat berkaitan dengan augmented reality. Kemudian kalau dalam YouTube saya sendiri pun sama juga, ada beberapa perkongsian kita tunjukkan tentang penggunaan iPad. Okey, bagaimana kita memanfaatkan teknologi iPad di dalam pendidikan kita sendiri. Okey. Jadi saya rasa itu saja dari saya, Puan Mashidah. Kalau ada sebarang soalan.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Syukri. Kalau tengok dekat YouTube live kita, soalan tak ada, cuma mereka menyuarakan rasa kehebatan lah sebab Cikgu Syukri mampu untuk menghasilkan AR teknologi. Begitu juga kalau tengok dekat Facebook pun begitu juga, cuma mereka menyuarakan pujian sajalah. Soalan setakat ini belum ada.
Okey. So maksudnya kalau seandainya rakan-rakan pendengar di social media nak belajar tentang augmented reality, boleh join kami di Apple Professional Learning Malaysia. Kita ada sediakan beberapa bengkel lah untuk augmented reality. InsyaAllah coming soon pun sama juga kita akan tunjuk ajar pada pelajar-pelajar dan juga guru-guru bagaimana kita nak menggunakan reality composer untuk menghasilkan AR dengan menggunakan iPad. Okey, itu saja daripada saya, Puan Mashidah. Kalau ada tersalah dan sebagainya, saya mohon maaf. Terima kasih saya ucapkan sekali lagi kepada MDEC kerana memberi ruang dan peluang untuk saya berkongsi berkaitan dengan augmented reality. Okey, Puan Mashidah, back to you.
Okey, baik. Terima kasih banyak-banyak diucapkan kepada Cikgu Juara Digital kita, iaitu Cikgu Muhammad Syukri Sulaiman, atas perkongsian yang begitu menarik sebentar tadi. Saya percaya kepada peserta dan juga penonton, selepas mendengar perkongsian daripada Cikgu Syukri sebentar tadi, ia telah menambahkan lagi pemahaman kita tentang teknologi augmented reality atau lebih dikenali sebagai AR teknologi khususnya dalam bidang pendidikan. Sebenarnya saya sendiri pun masih kabur tentang AR teknologi, tapi selepas penerangan daripada Cikgu Syukri, dia menambahkan lagi pemahaman saya. Memang best sebenarnya untuk kita guru-guru aplikasikan, terutamanya dalam bidang pendidikan. Jadi mungkin selepas ini kalau tadi Cikgu Syukri ada maklumkan ada buat bengkel khas, mungkin jugalah sekolah-sekolah boleh menjemput Cikgu Syukri untuk adakan program bersama dengan guru-guru sekolah untuk lebih detail jelas bagaimana untuk menghasilkan video-video menarik menggunakan AR teknologi ini. Boleh ya Cikgu Syukri?
InsyaAllah boleh, tak ada masalah.
Baik, itulah. Terima kasih sekali lagi diucapkan kepada Cikgu Syukri atas perkongsian tentang AR teknologi. Jumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Jadi dengan berakhirnya perkongsian daripada Cikgu Muhammad Syukri sebentar tadi, maka program MYDIGITALMAKER Visual Fair at Perak pada hari pertama ini telah pun sampai ke penghujungnya. Jadi terima kasih diucapkan kepada semua peserta dan penonton yang kekal setia bersama dengan kami daripada awal pagi tadi hinggalah ke petang ini 4.30 petang. Semoga perkongsian yang diperolehi pada hari ini memberi pengetahuan baharu dan juga manfaat kepada kita semua yang mendengarnya. Sebagai makluman semua, kepada penonton di Facebook MYDIGITALMAKER dan juga YouTube MJKK Negeri Perak, jangan lupa untuk isi link kehadiran dan juga link penilaian bagi mendapatkan sijil penyertaan. Jadi kepada semua penonton dan para peserta, jangan lupa esok kita akan sambung bersiaran lagi untuk hari kedua MYDIGITALMAKER Visual Fair at Perak. Jangan lepaskan peluang untuk ikuti program-program menarik yang disediakan. Antara program menarik esok ialah kita ada kursus inovasi rakyat 4.0 tentang YouTuber. Kita ada kerjaya teknologi digital drone dan robotik dan kita ada program Jom Baca at Universiti Teknologi Petronas. Yang pastinya semua bengkel, webinar aplikasi dan webinar kerjaya digital ini sepanjang pameran kerjaya maya MYDIGITALMAKER ini adalah sangat menarik dan bermanfaat untuk kita semua, lebih-lebih lagi di era revolusi industri 4.0. Satu pengumuman sikit makluman iaitu kepada para penonton dan peserta, jangan lepaskan peluang untuk mengikuti pertandingan TikTok yang dianjurkan oleh MDEC sempena MYDIGITALMAKER Visual Fair tahun 2021. Bagaimana nak sertai? Mudah saja. Peserta hanya perlu memuat naik video kreatif berkaitan dengan aktiviti-aktiviti pengetahuan digital ataupun aktiviti-aktiviti sepanjang program MYDIGITALMAKER Visual Fair ini berlangsung melalui aplikasi TikTok dengan menggunakan 3 tanda pagar. Yang pertama, tanda pagar belajar digital. Yang kedua, tanda pagar MYDIGITALMAKER. Dan yang ketiga, tanda pagar MYDIGITALMAKER Visual Fair 2021. 3 kategori disediakan, iaitu yang pertama kategori murid, khas untuk murid tingkatan 4 dan 5 sahaja. Kemudian kita ada kategori guru dan kategori yang ketiga iaitu kategori keluarga. Jadi pemenang akan dinilai berdasarkan video yang dimuat naik bermula 7 Oktober sehingga 19 November 2021. Jadi sekian sahaja daripada saya selaku pengacara majlis pada slot petang ini. Saya mewakili seluruh jawatankuasa program memohon maaf sekiranya ada sebarang kekurangan sepanjang program hari pertama ini berlangsung. Sekian sahaja dari saya. Jangan lupa set reminder untuk temu janji kita pada esok hari. Jumpa lagi. Bye. Assalamualaikum.